Thank you for watching this video today. My name is Matt Heggelund. I am the product manager for MPOWR Envision. In this video, we're going to do a review of what was included in our January release of Envision, which all customers would have received automatically during the last week of January. I'm going to dive right in as I'm already logged in and I'm on my dashboard. We're going to be using our Scoops plan today, which is a plan we created around a fictitious ice cream company purely for demonstration purposes. As I click into Scoops and get to the strategy overview, a couple things you're going to notice. Regardless if I'm using the Sunburst or strategy tree, when I click on a tactic or action item, you will now be able to see the status and target date from the summary on the right-hand side. From user feedback, it was useful to have those presented from this view and save you from having to click into the details and go back and forth from the strategy overview into the details. Additionally, as I scroll down and look at the cards, which represent my top layer, which is a segment, you're going to notice a number counter on the right-hand side. That's going to represent how many strategies, which is our second layer, live below that segment. For example, when I look at the product segment, it has 4. And if I click in, I will see the 4 strategies. You will notice now that I'm on the strategy, you will see that counter throughout the plan. Again, based on user feedback, we thought it would be helpful to have the visual reminder of how many things live directly below what you are looking at. Now I'm really excited about this next improvement. You can now view parts of your plan in a grid view. You can quickly access the grid view by clicking the appropriate icon. You can also switch back to card view. It just depends on what your preference is. What is also useful is the system is going to remember your preference. So if you are viewing the grid view and click into another part of the plan, let's say a tactic, the action items below it are going to be presented in a grid view, saving you from having to click the grid view icon each time if you prefer the grid view. Also in the grid view, as you get down to the tactic and action item level, you're going to be able to see more important fields that we create for the accountability at that level. For example, if target date is in red, that means the tactic or action item is past due. You might want to click into it, maybe review the progress notes, or maybe even post a progress note asking for an update. This grid view is conveniently located throughout the plan. Something else you're going to notice is that the tactic health is going to be controlled by the action items. Before, you could technically color a tactic green when all the action items below it might have been yellow or red. It just didn't make sense. So now a tactic's health will be driven by the overall health of its child action items. Next, we're going to dig into the main enhancement of this version, connecting to a critical success factor. But before we do that, let's take a minute to explain what a CSF is. A CSF, or critical success factor, is an overall element of your organization or your plan that you must get right if you are to stay true to your mission and vision. They are the overarching guiding principles that are critically important to your plan's success. They are able to be linked throughout the multiple segments and layers of the plan. They may be linked to one or many KPIs, objectives, tactics, and action items. In terms of Envision, connecting a CSF itself will impact the overall plan health, and any part of the plan connected to a CSF will have an additional weighting when it comes to the health calculation. You can access the CSF screen quite a few different ways in Envision. You can use the hamburger menu as well as from the breadcrumb trail. You can quickly create a CSF with the plus sign. After it's created, you can start connecting it to the specific pieces of the plan. Looking at the already existing CSFs that I have in my view here, I'm going to click into customer centricity and take a look. From this view, you will be able to see everything in the plan connected to the specific CSF in the grid view. The icon is going to signify the type of entity it is. Looking at the health of the CSF, you will also notice it is not editable because it is being calculated from all of its connections. You can easily add another connection by clicking the plus sign. What is really cool is you can also connect to a CSF from the plan itself. Let's click into one of these action items and take a look. You will notice the new section called Critical Success Factor Connections. And I can quickly add a connection or see existing connections to a CSF from this action item. Connecting from the plan or from the CSF has the same result. It's just 2 ways to complete the same connection. A new icon for categorization tags is also an improvement with January. We have made it more intuitive to know how to add a tag throughout your plan. Categorization tags allow you to quickly categorize parts of the plans into easily searchable buckets of information. For example, your strategic plan may not be operational in nature, but you still want to quickly access things by department, like sales or marketing. Using category tags, I can quickly do a search by clicking a category tag, which will auto search for everything in your plan that has that tag. The last part of the release I want to highlight is the ability for a user to manage the credentials they use to log into Envision. As a user, you can now easily change the email address you are using to log in, as well as your password. Thanks again for watching this video. As we continually strive for improvement with Envision, we will record a video like this around each of our monthly releases and keep you up to date on the latest and greatest features and functionality Envision has to offer. Talk to you soon. Thanks again for watching.